but that's okay. So this has been 40 minutes now. Beautiful color. The reason I started out with the searing, the high temperature first, that's called the searing method of roasting, where you started out at a high temp and then you drop it down. Now, if you were going to do a pork loin and I said you could brown it first, then I would just go a 350, 375 oven. There's no reason, obviously, for that searing temperature of roasting. So I'm almost at 140. Probably going to go another 5 more minutes in the oven, and I'll be back. Okay, so now the chicken is at about 155. It took another maybe 15 minutes, so, you know, depending on the size of the bird, 50 to 45 to 55 minutes or so. Now, at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to take that out. We're going to let that rest, obviously, before we carve it. At least 10 minutes. 15 would even be better. Now, I'm going to take out some of this mirepoix, and we'll remove a bay leaf. There's one more bay leaf. I'm going to take out some of this mirepoix, but I'm going to leave a little bit in there just for flavor for the gravy. You could have like some roasted potatoes around the edges, roasting at the same time, and roasting in some of that chicken fat. That would give it really delicious flavor. All right. Grab out just a couple more. Okay, so this, I'm actually going to eat that with my chicken. That's going to be really great. Now, what we want to do at this point is I want to bring this to a boil. And what we're going to do is we're going to boil these drippings down until any moisture has evaporated. And that's called clarifying the fat. Okay? So if, like when you roast a turkey, you got a lot of drippings, right? So what you could do is you would let that simmer until all that juice evaporates and turns into fond on the bottom. And then the fat is what you're going to use to make your roux. So that looks good. There's no moisture left. We're going to add our flour, 2 tablespoons. It's going to make about a cup and a half of gravy. Now, if you need a little bit more fat, you can use some chicken fat. I'm just going to get a little bit of that fat on there, just a little bit of extra fat. Okay. All right, now we're going to start adding our chicken stock, about 2 cups. Add half, and then we can go ahead and scrape up. And I'm not using a metal spoon or anything like that. I don't want to scrape the bottom of the pan. But I do want to get that fond scraped up. Now this is just a traditional gravy. If you want, after this simmers for about 15 minutes, you can go ahead and, you know, you can finish it with a little butter. You can put some lemon. If you want to finish it with some fresh thyme or even a little bit of minced rosemary, you can. But what I want to do is I want to scrape up all that fond, use the drippings. All right, that's my stock. And then we're going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes. Then I'm going to come back, strain it, and then we'll adjust it. And then I'll show you how to carve that chicken. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. I am going to strain this gravy, and then we'll look at it if we need to thin it down. And what I like to do with my gravies, turkey, pork, you know, this could even be a beef gravy, is I like to take some of that vegetable and garlic and just kind of push some of that through. Drop a little bit through. If I had a little bit bigger strainer, doing the best we can under the current situations here. And I want to see some of that carrot go through there. Carrots are nice and soft, and that's going to give it some nice sweetness, give it some flavor. Okay, you can see some of that vegetable has gone through. All right, the consistency looks pretty good. Might just take a little bit of stock just to get all that gravy out of that pan. Okay, and now we're going to just taste it. A little salt and pepper. Like I said, if you wanted to put some lemon, back and put a little squeeze of lemon in there. Not too much. You could put some butter in there if you like. We're going to get some salt and some pepper. All right. Consistency looks good. I like that. All right. All right, very good. Like I said, you could have had some fresh thyme in there, some rosemary. Now we're going to take this chicken, any juice, we're going to just put that in there. And we're going to just go ahead and carve this chicken. Now, I'm going to go on each side of the keel bone, over here, and on this side, okay? And then we're going to follow on this side, right down the wishbone, right through that joint, okay? Same thing on this side. Try to stay close to the bone, right through the joint. Chicken is still really nice and it's really hot, but it's so juicy. Look at how juicy that is. And then this, we're just going to peel right off, okay? Look at that. Beautiful. If it's a little pink, which it's not, you can go back in the oven just for a couple minutes, but that looks awesome. All right. Through that joint and just pull that right off. And I'm going to save this for a little stock. Even though the bones are cooked, it's still going to give it some flavor. It's better than just using water. And I don't even want to, I just want to eat that whole thing. It's so beautiful. I'm just going to cut a little piece. Look how nice and moist that is. Like I said, I'm going to serve some of that vegetable with it. Get some of this vegetable. Even if there's some pieces of garlic, you could serve some roasted potatoes with this, some mashed potatoes. You could have some root